Have you ever hit a point in your life where everything just seemed to fall apart? The job didn't work out, the money ran dry, people turned their backs on you, and the dreams you once had now feel like distant memories. Every door is closed, every light is out. But here is the truth. Some of the most powerful success stories in history started right there. Not in boardrooms, not on red carpets, not with viral moments or lucky breaks, but in silence, in rejection, in failure, in pain. What separates those who rise from those who stay down isn't luck. You start to see what matters and what doesn't. You stop chasing approval. You stop living by other people's timelines. A victim says, "This happened to me." I'm stuck. A creator says, "This happened. What can I do next?" The situation doesn't change instantly. They sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's power. They delay gratification, not intentionally, but inevitably. Because they know the more they fail, the more they learn. They don't take failure personally. They treat it as feedback, as data, as a necessary step. Howard Schultz was turned down over 200 times before he secured the funding that turned Starbucks into a global empire. Elon Musk poured his entire net worth into SpaceX, and Tesla faced disaster after disaster. And yet he persisted. The failure didn't define them. It refined them. They plant seeds even when there's no immediate harvest. That's a different kind of thinking, one that most people never tap into. But when you're at the bottom, time is your ally. Because you don't have anything to lose. So you can take the time to build something real, something lasting. You can stop rushing and start aligning. But the perspective does. And that change in thinking opens the door to possibility. You begin to take ownership. You stop waiting for a change, and you start becoming the change. You begin asking deeper questions. What kind of life do I want? What kind of person do I need to become to build that life? These questions don't come when everything's going well. They come when everything falls apart. And the answers you find in those moments become the foundation of a new future. It's mindset. It's the way they choose to think, to respond, to evolve when the odds seem impossible. It's a decision, often made in the darkest hours, to rise anyway. It's not about sudden miracles. It's about daily momentum. It's about doing one thing each day. That moves you forward, even if only by an inch. Get up an hour earlier. Read something empowering. Build a skill. Reach out to someone new. Do something uncomfortable. Every single step compounds. Every single habit reinforces the belief that you are capable of more, and those small wins, they begin to rebuild the broken parts of you. They build confidence, and confidence becomes courage. That's what people call rock bottom. But what if I told you that this moment, this very low, painful, because once you realize no one is coming, you stop waiting. Pain is information. It shows you what's broken. It reveals what needs to change. But only if you're willing to look at it, not with fear, not with resentment, but with honesty. Billionaires who rose from nothing didn't avoid pain. They studied it. They learned from it. They used it as fuel. And they never wasted it. You stop blaming. You stop hoping someone will hand you a lifeline, and instead, you begin building one yourself. This shift from waiting to creating is the first transformation. And it is powerful, and often humiliating. Point is not the end, but the beginning of something bigger. Because for countless self-made billionaires, rock bottom wasn't their burial ground. It was their birthplace. The birthplace of resilience, of reinvention, of the mindset shift that turned everything round. When you're down and out, it feels like the world is stacked against you. It starts with a simple realization nobody is coming to save you. That can sound harsh, but it's actually the most liberating truth you can accept. People who climb out of rock bottom understand something crucial. Pain is not the enemy. At your lowest point, you have a unique kind of clarity. One of the biggest mindset shifts that happens in these moments is moving from a victim mentality to a creator mentality. You don't need to leap from rock bottom to billionaire overnight. That's not how it works. Self-made billionaires don't think in days. They think in decades. They don't expect results tomorrow. They play the long game. Another major mindset shift is the way successful people view failure. The average person avoids failure at all costs, but billionaires pursue it. What they all understand is that your past does not predict your future. Your past explains where you've been, but it doesn't limit where you can go. People who rise from the ashes do so because they refuse to stay defined by their lowest moment. The people you surround yourself with have the power to either elevate you or suffocate you. It's something you build through effort, through repetition, through every small commitment that proves you are capable. Billionaires are not born with belief. They build it, brick by brick. They remind themselves daily of who they are becoming, from deciding that no matter what happens, you will keep moving. The kind you can't fake. The kind you only build when life knocks you flat and you choose to stand up anyway. It's in those moments when nobody's watching, when no one's clapping, when the results are invisible that real strength is born. If you're listening to this and you feel like you're at the bottom, or you know someone who is this moment is not your ending. It's your beginning. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need a shift in mindset. Not your doubts can stop the person you're becoming. From hopeless to possible, from fear to courage, from victim to leader, from stuck to unstoppable. And that strength becomes unshakable, because once you've survived your lowest point, you stop fearing setbacks. You know what you're made of. You know you can handle more than you thought. And that kind of inner certainty is priceless. That kind of discipline doesn't need motivation. It doesn't need perfect circumstances. It runs on purpose. It's the voice inside that says, I made a decision, and I honor that decision with action. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Progress beats perfection, always. They hold a vision of their future so clearly that it pulls them forward. Even when the present feels unbearable, that's the kind of belief that changes everything. You are being built. Everything you're going through right now is shaping you, molding you, equipping you. The pain, the rejection, the failures, they are not signals to stop. More vision than you've explored, and more future than you've imagined. Don't let this chapter define you. Let it refine you. They are signs that you're being called to rise, to grow, to evolve. If you choose to see them that way, nothing can stop you. If everyone around you complains, stays stuck, and settles for mediocrity, it's almost impossible to think big. They don't wake up thinking, how can I get rich? They ask, what problem can I solve? They focus on creating something the world needs, whether it's a product, a service, or an idea. And when you solve problems, money follows. That shift from chasing money to creating value is what sets the ultra-successful apart. But when you begin to spend time, even virtually, with people who dream bigger, act bolder, and live intentionally, your mindset begins to shift naturally. You absorb new energy. You start expecting more from yourself. And that shift in environment can be the spark that ignites a completely new identity. They know they're more than their mistakes, more than the opinions of others, more than the failures, the bankruptcies, the rejections, the betrayals. They make a decision to be more, and then they back it up with action. One of the most overlooked keys to rising from rock bottom is your environment. And let's not forget about belief. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you, because belief is not something you wait for. Money, interestingly, is not the focus. For the people who rise from nothing, money becomes a byproduct, not the goal. The goal is impact.service.value. Now let's talk discipline, not the rigid, punishment kind, but the kind of discipline that comes from commitment. Rock bottom also teaches you resilience, true resilience. Here's the truth that most people miss. You are not broken. So what now? You have more power than you think, more strength than you've used, because from rock bottom, there's only one direction left to go up. And if you choose to rise, to change, to believe, to act, then nothing, not your past, not your failures, your story isn't over. It's just getting started. Now stand up. It's time to build something legendary.